Welcome back, everyone. My name is Emily Pelly, and I am the publisher at Morning Dove Press. Morning Dove Press is Eastern Canada's Christian publishing house, and we are delighted to have our newest author with us, Joanne Linzel. Joanne has written this beautiful book called When My Feet Hit the Floor, Liberating Truths in the Arena of Parenting. So welcome, Joanne.
Thank you.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Maybe introduce us, to your life.
I've been a wife for 39 years. I raised 4 children who are now adults, grandmother of 4, and I've done, I'm a jack of all trades. I am a pretty hands-on person, basically, and now I'm an author of the first book I've ever written. And don't ask me how I got here. It's just really a walk of life. And I was really encouraged by several people, Joanne, you really should write a book. And I'm like, who am I to write a book? Like, who am I? So I started Young Moms Group by being really pushed into the role from another young mom. And she says, we really need you, Joanne, to run this. And I'm like, who am I to do this? But then I remembered that I need to pay it forward, because I, as a young mom, sat in a group where we were mentored by a very special lady called Marg Tyne. And so I guess I've just taken over paying it forward and gathering young moms to just speak out and being really true face with each other. We all can say, if we're meet up at church or whether it's in a mall or a coffee shop, oh, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Facebook, everything's fine. Everything's fine. But sometimes it's not. And so I really hit that we're not fine, and just let everybody know that we're not fine. And let's just talk these times out. And how do we roll with this? And how do we be true to ourselves and true to the women or parents that we're meeting? Just be honest with each other. So that we do. We gather, we're honest with each other. I'm really practical, down to earth, and I will really hit the nail on the head with truths. And just from my life, walking through my life as a parent, raising 4 kids. And, we've made multiple moves throughout our marriage, back and forth across Canada 4 times. So we're not military, but we feel like it sometimes. So we've had a lot of ups and downs, and you just push through it. And so, just life experiences. So all of these stories that are in the book are actually true. And my kids will vouch for that, because I like to have the true stories, and I want a reality. So
I love what you said there about paying it forward, and how women took time to mentor you, and now you are taking that time to mentor other moms. I think that's really beautiful. So you meet with a lot of moms through your life. So what are there any common needs or struggles that you're hearing Christian moms talk about these days?
I think the needs and struggles haven't really changed. The only thing that has changed is now you can go on Google to find your answers for parenting, or wherever. We really never had that. And we basically, the way I learned even how to discipline my kids is I watched an older lady train her teenagers. And I went up to her, I'm like, how do you do it? I need to know a system other than how I grew up. So I think the struggle is there's too much information out there by people who are writing books, and you should abide by the books. But no, you should use your own motherly intuition or your parenting intuition, and just really rely on that. And maybe secondary is Google. Yes, because everything is perfect in Google. It should be step by step, but it's not. It's not. So
that's so true. It's like you're overwhelmed with too much information, too many suggestions. And it can almost be paralyzing. What do I do now?
Right. And you can spend all evening Googling a topic where really just sit down, think about it, ask the Lord, like, what do I do? What do I do? Yes. Many times my hands are up in the air. What do I do? And he pulls through. Yeah.
For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. So like part of your title, you said you used the phrase liberating truths in the arena of parenting. So what do you mean like that? What is it that people need to be liberated from?
I think there's a lot of, I would say, not true face going on right now. People can display a lovely family picture or their life on Facebook or social media, wherever, and that things are fine. And things are not always fine. And if we would just meet as people and just take down our guards of our pretense and just get honest with each other, I think to that, the women that we meet together, that's liberating for them. They're like, we're not the only ones experience this. And the other day we met, and one of the topics was like when I asked my husband to do a job, I like him to start from here and finish well all the way to the end. Well, there's always stuff left, and I have to finish up for him. Like, just put the stuff away. This was a consensus through the whole group. You're
Yeah.
right. My husband only does the 90% and doesn't put the other 10% away. And okay, it gets frustrating as the pile gets higher and higher. So little things like that. All right. So it's little things, and sometimes there's big things. And those little things get underneath our skin. How do we deal with that? So
Yeah,
that's
you use the expression true face, and I think that really gets at what you're saying is to just be real, because it can be quite confining or almost crippling if you're pretending all the time to that everything's fine, that your husband doesn't drive you crazy sometimes, that your kids are, maybe not perfect.
right.
It's
And
liberating to just be true.
we're always looking for the new technique of how to parent or how, and is there really, there are new techniques, but let's use our own common sense. And as a mother, as a parent, yeah, and we can all enter into small talk, but sometimes we just need to open up, bare our souls, and you'd be surprised the revelation, the freedom there is in that. So I think the book is full of true facts, true stories that we've experienced as a family, as I've experienced as a mother, and all of them are, the kids can attest that each one is true. There are no false stories in there and no false situations. And there's just lessons along with each one, what I've learned or gathered to help through on those spots. And so, yeah, that's, and we all have highs and lows in our life. And really, adversaries, like hard circumstances, always come into our life. And it doesn't make, we shouldn't turn into timid or defeated people. We need to, if Christ is in us, we have to be more than conquerors. So
Right.
step up and let's be conquerors in these areas rather than being, what was me, or defeated as a mom, I'm not good enough, or as a parent, am I doing enough? Yeah, you're doing enough. If you just look at the great kids that you've got, and even if they're not great, it's only a season, right? Work through that season, because seasons never last. There's always another season. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much wisdom in that. And I think your voice is so important, because I'm reminded of in Titus chapter 2, it talks about older women taking time to train the younger women, like how to love your husbands and raise your children. And I think that voice is often lost in our, maybe it's culture, maybe it's church culture, whatever it might be. When I hear you speak, I hear the wisdom of someone who has gone through it and gone through some stuff, and you can turn around and say, like you just said, seasons change. You're going to make it. It's going to be okay. Nobody's perfect. And that takes so much pressure off of women. I think in people in general, just to hear someone being real.
Right. Yeah, we've never raised our kids around family. So basically, we've lived in small hick towns where, you start looking at, who do I want to watch? Who do I want to mirror? And look how they're raising their kids. And
Right.
that's who I would go seek wisdom from. And well, I know we used to have people say, well, you have 4 kids, good luck when the teenage years come. I'm like, wait a minute, that's setting me up.
That's
I'm
right.
like, I am not going to take that. That is a lie. And so, really, be strong as conquerors, and like, I'm not going to predict the teenage years are going to be rough. I'm going to come in through with bright eyes and determination and run with it. So we did fine. Each season of our kids' life has been great. And,
Yeah.
mm.
Awesome. No, it's so great. So what is one thing you would hope someone takes away from your book? What is like the takeaway message or idea that you would want someone to have?
I would think the takeaway is I'm doing great. I'm doing great. This woman has failed over and over again, and she comes out with lessons. Again, we go through highs and lows so that we can become stronger and we can and build our kids. You want to do as parenting better than I tell my kids, you want to do better than your dad and I. I mean, you want to look at what we've done and even do better. So that's my goal is if you read this book, you can actually prepare yourself for what's coming next and you can do better than I did. So, and hope that, yes, we do have rough days and as a mom and that there are brighter days ahead.
That's awesome. You're doing great. That's a good message. Thank you so much for your time, Joanne. So When My Feet Hit the Floor, Liberating Truths in the Arena of Parenting. You can grab your copy today from morningdovepress.ca. Visit our online store. You can purchase a copy there, or you'll also find this on amazon.ca. So, and it is available in hardcover and as an ebook as well. So thank you, Joanne, for your time. And thank you everyone for joining us today, and God bless you and have a great day.
Thank you.